The truth about Thomas Edison, the newspaper boy who made history. Have you ever been told you'll never amount to anything? If you have, you're not alone. Even one of the greatest geniuses in history heard those very words. That's right, none other than the brilliant Thomas Edison, the boy who was labeled mentally slow by his own teacher, expelled from school after just 3 months, yet ultimately became the man who lit up human civilization. So what allowed Edison to rise after thousands of failures, turning pain and ridicule into the driving force that changed the world? Was it a special mindset that anyone can develop? Or was there something deeper hidden behind that genius brain? This story will change the way you see determination and success. Let's dive in. And if you don't want to miss more valuable content like this, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell to uncover more fascinating stories ahead. A remarkable beginning, the mark of a genius. On a February 11th, 1847, in a small town in Ohio, USA, Thomas Alva Edison was born. He was the youngest of 7 siblings. His father, Samuel, was a roofer and entrepreneur, while his mother, Nancy, was a teacher with an endless love for her children. But from the moment he was born, Edison was unlike anyone else. He had an unusually large head, so much so that the doctor was concerned. But little did anyone know, this was the first sign of an extraordinary mind. From a young age, Edison wasn't just a curious child. He was a true explorer. While other kids played carefree, he was consumed by questions no one else thought to ask. Have you ever imagined hatching eggs like a mother hen? Well, Edison did. He actually lay motionless inside a chicken coop for hours, waiting for a miracle to happen. When his mother found out, she didn't scold him or forbid him. Instead, she laughed and encouraged her son to keep exploring the world in his own way. And that very moment ignited an unstoppable spark of creativity in Edison. Edison never accepted things as they were. He wanted to experiment, to understand, to change everything around him. And it was this boundless curiosity that turned an unusual boy into a genius who changed the course of human history. But that journey was far from easy. A genius born from a great lie? As a child, Thomas Edison was not an outstanding student. In fact, he was considered an abnormal child. At the age of 7, Edison entered a small classroom with more than 40 other students. But he was different from his peers. While his classmates focused on the lessons, he kept asking questions no one else even thought about. Why is the sky blue? Why does fire burn? Instead of following textbooks, he explored the world in his own way. But this very difference made him a difficult student. Teachers couldn't tolerate him, and classmates gradually distanced themselves. And then, after just 3 months in school, Edison was declared unfit for learning and was immediately expelled. A letter was sent home. When his mother read it, her eyes showed a hint of sadness. But then, she folded the letter, smiled, and looked at her son with loving eyes. "My son, you are a genius. But this school is too small to nurture your talent. From today, I will be your teacher." And from that moment on, his life took a completely different turn. What he gained was not just knowledge, but an unshakable belief in himself. No longer confined by 4 classroom walls, Edison was taught by his mother in a completely new way, free to explore, free to think without limits. And that was what transformed a boy once considered abnormal into a true genius. From basement experiments to a fateful accident. At the age of 10, while other kids were busy playing, Thomas Edison devoted himself entirely to his experiments. In the tiny basement of his home, the thin boy with bright eyes was immersed in strange chemical reactions. Outside, the world was filled with ordinary things. But inside that basement, an entire universe of science was waiting for him to explore. But the basement was too small. He needed a bigger place. At 12, Edison stepped onto a train, selling newspapers to make a living, while turning a small corner of a train car into a mobile laboratory. In that cramped space, bottles of chemicals swayed with the rhythm of the moving train, and experiments continued despite everyone's objections. And then, the unthinkable happened. A chemical reaction spiraled out of control, sparking a fire right on the train. There was no time to explain. Edison was dragged outside under furious glares. No more newspaper business, no more tiny laboratory on the train. But the worst was yet to come. In the chaos, a violent blow severely damaged Edison's hearing. Sound started to fade. The world grew silent. For many, this would have been the end. But for Edison, it was only the beginning. No longer distracted by the noise around him, he delved even deeper into his world, where bold ideas began to take shape. From a boy expelled from a train, Edison turned adversity into strength. And from within that silence, a genius was awakening. Thomas Edison, the architect of sound, the pioneer of light. In 1877, at the age of 30, Edison astonished the world with a groundbreaking invention, the phonograph. For the first time in history, humans could hear their own voices echo from an inanimate device. The chirping of birds, laughter, and the first melodies resonated, ushering in a new era of sound. And the name Thomas Edison began to shine. But that was not all. A year later, he embarked on an even crazier ambition, his boldest dream yet, illuminating the world with electric light. Thousands of experiments, countless sleepless nights. Fire was no longer the only source of light. Now brightness could emerge from a filament as thin as silk. Then in October 1879, the first light bulb shone, burning continuously for 40 hours. And on New Year's Eve of that year, December 31st, 1879, more than 3,000 people flocked to Menlo Park, awestruck by the magical glow, one that required neither oil nor fire. That was the moment humanity stepped into a new era. And Edison, once an ordinary man, became the creator of a second sun. An everlasting legacy, the secret behind the light. Have you ever wondered, what would the world be like today without Thomas Edison? He didn't just bring light to mankind, he also laid the foundation for the film industry. In 1891, Edison introduced the kinetoscope, one of the first devices that allowed people to watch moving pictures, paving the way for Hollywood in the years to come. But that was only a small piece of his vast creative legacy. Even more astonishing was the speed of his innovation. Over 1,500 patents in 84 years of life. On average, he produced a new invention every 12 days, spanning electricity, sound, and motion pictures. Each of his ideas helped shape the modern world. For these contributions, he earned the title, the Wizard of Menlo Park. And in 1931, when Edison passed away, the entire United States turned off its lights for 1 minute, as a tribute to the man who had brought light to humanity. But the story doesn't end there. A secret remained hidden for decades. One day, while sorting through old family keepsakes, Edison stumbled upon a letter from his former teacher. The contents left him in shock. "Your son has intellectual disabilities. We cannot accept him into our school." It turned out that years ago, his mother had hidden the letter and instead told him that the school believed he was a genius and needed to be homeschooled. It was her love and unwavering belief that transformed an outcast boy into one of the greatest minds in history. You know Thomas Edison as a genius inventor, but did you know his life was also filled with struggles and surprises? At the age of 14, on a train journey, Edison witnessed a boy in danger and immediately stepped in to save him. In gratitude, the boy's father, a telegraph operator, taught Edison how to use the telegraph. Who could have imagined that this very moment would set Edison on the path to becoming a legendary inventor? As an adult, he married Mary Stilwell, had 3 children, and built a happy home. But life doesn't always go as planned. In 1884, Mary passed away, leaving Edison in profound loneliness. A fateful love and an unconventional proposal. After days of sorrow, Edison met Mina Miller, an intelligent, vibrant young woman. And then he did something no one expected. He proposed using Morse code. A proposal not only romantic, but also truly genius. During a trip to Florida, Edison realized that the shores of Fort Myers were the perfect place to spend his later years. He decided to build a winter estate there, where he and Mina enjoyed a happy life with their 3 children. The mysterious final words. At the age of 84, Edison took his last breath in New Jersey. Before passing, he gazed out the window and said, "It is very beautiful over there." But what was over there? A new horizon only he could see, or a brilliant idea left unfinished? Though time has passed, Edison's inventions continue to shape the modern world. His life was not just the story of a genius, but a testament to perseverance, passion, and boundless creativity. What impressed you the most about his life? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss more fascinating stories.